Alright, let's talk a little bit more about ChatGPT and whether it can build you an app from scratch. So this is something that I've been using ChatGPT quite a lot, so I have a lot to say about ChatGPT, and I've actually used it to build stuff, basically. Ask different random questions and all that different type of stuff. But the topic in this video is whether it has the ability to build a full app. Because if you break it down, a lot of people out there are worried if ChatGPT will actually take away all our jobs. You know, that's the biggest worry, especially for entry-level developers. And really, it comes down to whether it can build things for us, right? Because the whole thing is, if it can build things for us, it can take an idea from idea to implementation, then, you know, that is a big worry for a lot of us out there. But as much as it can help you with small projects, at this point in time, I just don't think it has the ability to work on production level apps. And that's really where your job is going to come in, right? Because for those of you who work software jobs, you know this, right? In production level jobs in big companies, a lot of them will have, you know, custom frameworks, custom packages that they're going to be using that makes things a lot easier, right? And so as a result, you know, ChatGPT won't be helpful for that. ChatGPT is only helpful when it is using the default packages. Like, for example, let's just say that let's just say that I was working at a company and I had a custom way to fetch an API and display it in a table view, right? ChatGPT wouldn't be able to help me out that much because it only understands, you know, build your code, get your structs with your codables, you know, do your URL session, your data task, and then decode the data. You know, your traditional iOS way to decode data. But if you have a custom implementation to get a REST API data point, then ChatGPT won't be helpful for that, right? So as a result, there's going to be a need for people to come in and understand what this package is and what it does and how to implement it without the help of ChatGPT. Another thing that a lot of people have been worried about and is kind of false is the fact that, you know, a lot of the times you can't really use ChatGPT in the workplace, especially those with a lot more stringent security measures. So for example, if you worked at Apple, right? Apple's pretty strict on their privacy and not leaking a single thing, right? I'm sure everybody knows it. Even I don't work at Apple, but I know this because, you know, they don't like leaking any information, right? People think, for example, that they're releasing an iCar, but no employee will ever tell you that they're going to do an iCar, for example, right? So that comes to show you that if you work in these high security areas or you have very strict NDAs, it's not going to work for you, right? So as a result, ChatGPT wouldn't be helpful for that case. Right? So as a result, it won't replace our jobs, but what it will be able to do is it will be able to assist you in your current job, right? So for example, what I've been using ChatGPT a lot for is translating different codes, right? Because right now, I'm an iOS developer, but at my job right now, I'm working a lot in React, right? So I use a lot of like React stuff in order to build like different frameworks and you know, use different logic. And I'm using ChatGPT to help me to understand what the relationship between this React code and this Swift code might be and how they're related to each other. And it's really going to help enforce my understanding of it. So that's really where ChatGPT holds its value. And another thing that I found that ChatGPT is especially helpful with is if you're working on solo projects, right? At my current manufacturing job, you know, I work on my own solo projects that are used by, you know, that other developers don't really work on. So I'm the one who's kind of responsible for the code, for shipping it out and stuff like that. I don't really need any input from any other developers. So I have the ability to use ChatGPT because I don't really have any requirements for, custom libraries, custom frameworks, and all that different type of stuff, right? So that's where ChatGPT can be useful. But at the same time, that's not really a software job, because usually in a software job, unless you're working in an early stage startup, they're going to have their own systems that they've already implemented that you're not going to be able to modify all that much unless you're like a tech lead or something, right? So that's just my quick opinion on ChatGPT and its effects on the workplace, and whether it's going to replace our jobs, because that's a big issue out there. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit like, leave me a comment, tell me what you thought about in the comment section below, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, as it really helps support the channel and lets me know and encourages me to make content just like this. So without further ado, I'll see you on the next video.